Hmm? Ah!
You're listening to the Run for Your Lives podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pake.
And this is the Run for Your Lives podcast.
This episode is the action horror film They Live, written, directed, and scored by John Carpenter and released November 4th, 1988.
Yes, and this week, because it's such a fun movie that we're going to be doing, we have invited two of our favorite people, although I'm starting to question if they really are some of my favorite people, given the amount of shit I have taken since we got on Zoom prior to recording. However, Jerry and Jeff, our Buffalo cohorts, are here to talk about They Live with us. Welcome back, guys. It's been a while.
It's Buffalo movie night.
Yay.
Boom, 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 boom. It has been about a year, I think, since, where's it been 2 years since we did the stuff?
It's been 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Golly.
That's right. It was when we started the podcast.
You do realize we're coming up on 2 years of Buffalo.
Yeah.
And
Almost 200
episodes.
Jerry is banging in the background. This is great. I did not want to have to edit much of this episode, and I feel like now I am going to be editing for days to fix things.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Daphne. I'm just bringing the buffalo here.
Yep. It feels like home.
Yes, it does.
On the range.
On the range, exactly.
Yeah, it's like herding sheep or cats or something with the three of you. And for some reason, I decided doing it twice in 1 week was a good idea.
How's that working out for you?
Yeah, not real well. Not real well.
It's pretty fun, ain't it?
No. Nope. It isn't.
No. What do you mean, no?
I think it is.
Of course
I'm
you
having
do.
fun.
You're thriving in this environment. Now there's three of you to torture me, and I don't usually feel tortured on this podcast, just on Buffalo.
Mhm.
Well, we are going to kick this off with production notes like we always do. Was filmed in Los Angeles, California, and Atlanta, Georgia. Carpenter used Ray Nelson's 1963 short story, 8 O'Clock in the Morning, as a basis for this story. The budget was $4 million. It grossed $13.4 million at the box office. It's 94 minutes long. Pake, got a synopsis for us?
They influenced our decisions without us knowing it. They numb our senses without us feeling it. They control our lives without us realizing it. They live.
Okay.
Very nice and dramatic. Like it.
Yes.
So yeah, we did pick this movie specifically.
It wasn't just like spur of the moment surprise for all four of us when
No.
we got on here. Okay, good.
No. We picked this one specifically. I already have the next one that we're going to do. I found Kingdom of the Spiders, Jerry. It's on Tubi.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Or
Yes.
not Tubi.
That is the question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the Shakespeare Channel. Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's a new movie coming out. So,
The Shakespeare Channel is a new movie. Could be.
so the first 12 minutes of this episode is just going to be an outtake because I don't even know what to say about it anymore. Peg, why don't you drive the bus for this episode?
Because I don't have my CDL.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. It would be highly illegal for me to drive the bus, but you know what? I'll do it anyway. No. Jerry's gonna run this thing this week.
Look at him. He has no idea. Okay. So, like we usually do when we have guests on, we allow them to go first. Each of us is going to have multiple points and we'll rotate in the discussion of what we want to talk about from this film. It's different from our usual character analysis, but it's a lot of fun to do it this way every once in a while. So, we're going to go in alphabetical order in the descending order. So, Jerry, you get to go first.
All right.
But Pake goes after, P is after J.
Listen to me. What is
The
your last
alphabet is
name?
different now.
What is your last name?
You didn't say it was for last names. I thought you gotta.
You really, I assumed you were going to start with Pig too. Sorry.
Yeah.
So did I.
Why is it that no one uses the last name for alphabetizing anymore? It's your first name.
Well, I think in
I
this
don't
particular case,
understand.
it's because we don't refer to each other as
We never
Bethman,
use our
Gomez,
last
Alan
names.
and Alan.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think we've ever stated last names on either podcast. I don't think really ever.
Great.
They've
Okay.
been out at different
Maybe.
points. Like the Allen boys are going to be
They all-
disappointed.
Yeah.
I don't know if Daphne's last name has ever come up, but Jerry's has a couple of times.
Good. So we'll start this again, and you will open your ears and listen to me.
I mean, we heard every word you said. You just didn't
Did you?
specify which
Okay.
first or last name.
If you heard everything I said, why would you have thought you were included to go first or second when we let our guests go first and I said that?
You know what?
Are you a guest?
That's a fair point. And you're correct.
Mark, point for Daphne here.
All right, yeah. Oh, yeah, whiteboards.
No whiteboards.
Okay. I was going to ask the same question, but I was afraid to ask because I thought I might upset Daphne by being wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Just slightly afraid to ask.
You're like, you know what? Jerry is the last in the alphabet, for sure.
Yes.
Daphne says so.
Okay.
That it tracks.
All right. Well, among the guests, Jerry is last in the alphabet.
Which is how I ended up taking it. I was like, okay, well, she's going reverse by guests. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so now that I'll just remove 3 more minutes from the podcast.
Perfect.
Because I think we have maybe 2.5 minutes we can use out of 10 minutes.
So that's pretty good.
No, it isn't.
We're batting 200.
It's not bad.
I forgot that I need to be so explicit with you guys.
Well, don't be that explicit. We're not covering Triple X.
No, so we don't have to be that explicit.
Daphne is going to rage quit in a minute here. I'm going to behave now.
Yeah, I'm behaving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure you are. The minute a shiny thing crosses the screen, you are going to be distracted and ridiculous again.
Well,
so,
I mean, if the shiny thing is like a little UFO or something, I would definitely be distracted.
Yeah.
you saw that in the movie, Jeff. Yes.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Anyways,
I would have too if I would have watched it.
Okay, so if you will refrain from speaking
Ever.
until I tell you it's okay, until I call on you to start.
I do have an objective question here. So
immediately Jerry starts talking.
Pake is gone. He's gone.
no,
Okay.
Daphne, I'm being serious. I'm sorry. I'm being serious. So when you cue me, I'm just going to jump right into my first point.
Yes, Jerry.
Okay.
Unless you want to introduce yourself, give everyone your sign, tell everyone that you like long walks on the beach, and give a dating profile, then, you know.
You know, redheads only, please.
Oh my God. They're starting a new one, Redhead Fans. That is a new thing that's coming out, Jerry. I thought you'd want to sign up right away.
They just put wigs on like
On everyone.
Wigs on everything.
on oscillating fans.
Nothing is getting done. We are not even recording. It's not.
Okay, I'm good.
So, Jerry, what do you have for us as your first point?
Oh, my first point is just the sheer campiness of the movie.
Well, they were camping in a lot.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of camping scenes. Yeah, outdoor
Well,
camping.
I'm talking about just the stuff being over the top, namely the fight in the alley.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. That's what I remember the most about this movie is that fight. Oh my
It goes on
gosh.
for quite a long time.
5.5 minutes is, I think that's
Yes.
about what it is. But when I first saw this movie, it was 1989. You know, it's the in the days of VHS rental. Yikes! Yeah, and it was hilarious to watch that fight.
You know what? I bet that WWF dictated that Roddy Piper needed to be in a fight scene in the movie.
That was my thought too, is that there was something in his contract that was like,
Yes.
if you've got Roddy Piper, there must be a fight scene.
Yes, and it must be long, and it must be incredibly physical, and it must be over the top. And you know what? That ticks all the boxes right there.
How many times do you think it would take of you getting punched in the face before you finally put sunglasses on? Like, that's what the fight is about. Put glasses on. No. Well, I'm going to punch you in the face for 5 minutes then. Like,
Yep.
You punch me in the face once, I'm putting on whatever the hell you ask me to.
Exactly.
Well, especially by Piper. Jesus, you see that when he had his shirt off? You see how built he is?
Mhm.
That's also
Crazy.
in his contract, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Roddy must have his shirt off for at least 10% of the movie.
Well, it ticked the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were there any other parts, Jerry, that were over the top campy to you that you wanted to point out?
Well, it's just that he can go out a plate glass window, roll down a very steep slope, and walk away without one cut on him. So
Again, he's in this movie. He's a pro wrestler. You've got to make him look indestructible and tough and able to do everything. And he probably did his own stunts.
well, some of them anyway.
I would
yeah.
assume so.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't look it up.
Yeah, no, I do have a point on that. On that is that he and Keith David, they did actual punches to the body, and when they were planning this out, and they said, okay, well, no punches to the face, but we're doing punches to the body, real ones. So.
Wow. And a young Keith David.
And this this was like 6 years after the thing.
I know.
Mhm.
John Carpenter likes to work with the same actors from time to time. He's got a list of his usual suspects. I don't think it's as frequent as some of Mike Flanagan's. Like how Mike Flanagan reuses people and it's like almost always the same group of actors.
Yeah, as long as he uses Samantha Sloyan, I'm there.
Yes.
For some odd reason.
Have you watched Life of Chuck yet?
I have not.
Then you weren't there. You're not there. You got to get there.
Okay.
Okay, Jeff, what do you have for us?
Well, kind of along the same lines, I guess, is just kind of the 50s homage. The B horror film homage, with between the little dinky UFOs that look like they were on fishing line, and the
Stop motion animation.
and the ghouls that reminded me a lot, honestly, of Mars Attacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which actually, as I thought about it, was like, Mars Attacks the film, which is obviously one of Daphne's favorite movies of all time.
Of course.
No, it is not.
Came
You know
out-
this.
Came out
A
10
Christmas
years
classic.
after. But, and you guys probably talked about this on the episode, Mars Attacks was originally a trading card series that came out back in the 60s. So that kind of imagery was definitely, available. And yeah, I know that Carpenter was doing a lot of stuff that was, homage kind of thing. It was just even the fact that it was like all monochrome when you put the sunglasses on, it reminded me a bit of like like a Twilight Zone type episode.
Uh-huh.
You know, it was very, very obvious the homages and the that he was paying to films, you know, that he'd watched probably when he was a kid. How old? I'm trying to remember. Carpenter's...
He's 78.
Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, you'd have been a kid in the 50s.
Okay, Pake, what would you like to bring to the table?
I've got... It's weird, because the way I took notes, I'm just like, it's a lot of mostly jokes and setups.
I knew it.
And then it's like, and then I have to jumble them all up into points, and then callbacks don't make sense if I put them in the wrong order. But, but I just roll with it. But no, I have like bigger points, but like the things I really want to point out and like talk about. Jerry did talk about that scene a little bit, but then just even zooming out from just that scene, but just the character of Nada, which is that's what we get for him, which is just nothing. He has no name. He's just a wanderer with no name, just moving about
around and around and around and around.
But I like just him as a fighter, which again, I like that you pointed out. It's like, it's probably because you have Hot Rod, Rowdy Roddy Piper in your movie. Like he has to contractually be beefy and fight people. So that's what he's going to do. But it was, you know, it's funny because like there's like wrestling moves that are in this movie. He's like grabbing people and doing stuff. Even whenever he's fighting with those two cops in the alleyway when he first realizes what the glasses do, and I'm sitting there watching it, feel like just letting my inner Jim Ross. I was like, and the ripcord lariat, you know, and he's laying in some great strikes there, and then his finishing move, gun.
Yep, simple, concise, short, effective.
Yeah.
Everyone should have a finishing move that is as effective as that, I guess.
Involves a firearm.
Yeah, gun is a great finisher. It really is. And it's funny because you see people walking around in the background. It's like, okay, guy shooting cops in an alley. Nobody blinks an eye. No. Then he like walks out and cocks the shotgun, and then people freak out. Like, okay. And then walks into the bank backwards, and then like sees what's going on. Is like, yeah. I don't even have to like talk about the quote. It's the most quotable quote of the whole movie. People who've never seen this movie know the quote. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just like, he came here to chew bubble gum and kick ass and call himself mama.
Honestly, it was an inadvertent bank robbery type situation, even though he didn't end up taking any money.
It wasn't a very good robbery.
No money, that's what's funny that he's sitting there at Holly's house later, and it's just like, you know, he's like, oh, I'm not going to hurt you. You don't have to worry about me. It's like, you did just see me shoot a bunch of cops and seemingly random innocent people in a bank, and I took no money. So it seems like it was just for the fun of it. But, you know, I'm fine. But yeah, as he's doing that, I was like, oh, he's just decided he's doing a GTA star run in real life. That's what this is. Yes. How many can I, rank up? Just take some guns, walk into a bank, start blasting people, see what happens for funsies.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when he grabbed that gun, I'm like, you're a hobo with a shotgun. I mean, really? I'm like, okay.
Basically is.
So we've moved.
Legitimately.
I was amazed by the clip size of that shotgun.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realize that shotguns could hold, 10, 12 shells like that.
Bam! Bam!
Well, in this world,
shotgun.
It was Herschel's shotgun.
Yes.
Oh,
that is effective. Yeah. I wonder where Herschel got that shotgun.
Got it from this guy. Only targets their formaldehyde faces. Mm-hmm. No, that's what he does. And the little UFO-looking drones. I wanted to see what that one looked like that he blasted in the alley without the glasses. It was like, what's the real-life comparison? Like, what are they? It was like probably a bird, because we all know birds aren't real. That's a common fact at this point. So
I loved that when they wore the glasses, it was black and white, because it really was that homage to like the 50s movies. Like,
like the original Body Snatchers was in black.
Yeah,
that's what I was
like
thinking
that. Of. Yeah, I liked that it did that, because it did seem like a little bit of a love letter to that type of movie from that time frame.
Yeah, I loved that visual choice. But yeah, then lastly for the fighting is, Jerry then pointed out that scene was the loser puts on glasses match, the street fight. Was, match gimmicks keep getting weirder, but they're still fun. I like that. Frank counters the backdrop suplex with a great headlock, but then he starts biting, and I was like, hey, you can't do that. But then, like, no, it is a street fight, no DQs, no holds barred, even holds that include teeth. So we can have that happen. But Piper does finish the match off with a suplex move, and I'm glad that he used that instead of his established finisher, because I don't know if Frank could have handled gun at that point. Nobody kicks out of gun.
No, they do not kick out of gun.
Yeah.
Well, and I was going to say, what's his name? Frank hit Nada about a half a dozen times with his knee in the groin.
God, yeah.
Gosh.
That's called a low blow, Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted Piper to get up there and be like, Frank, put on the glasses.
Yeah.
He did try to talk him into it. He wouldn't listen because he thought, he thought Nada was out of his mind.
Well, but from his perspective, I have it written down here. It's like, his resistance is kind of, understandable, being that the last he heard of him was he shot how many people?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
I won't hurt you. Just put these sunglasses on and it's all going to change. Okay, dude.
Honestly, that's kind of a typical day in LA.
Yeah.
That's like not that far out there for Los Angeles.
What? Put the sunglasses on?
Put the
I'm going to beat the shit out of you?
A seemingly insane person coming up to you screaming that the aliens are all around and you need to put the sunglasses on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just, this guy again.
But I would, and the other one of the other things I have written here is that both these guys, up to a certain point, have plot armor galore.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's crazy how much plot armor.
Until they don't.
Until they don't.
Mm-hmm. I always forget how this
part of the plot. Yeah.
Yeah, I always forget how this movie ends, and so I'm always disappointed at the end.
Oh. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. There are credits at the end.
But before that.
Yeah, I'm always disappointed when they die.
So yeah, rewatch the movie over and over to see if it changes, but it's always the same every
time. I just forget because we've established on this podcast that once I've watched something, sometimes I just have to let go of it because there are too many other things I'm doing or watching. So,
all right. Well, Daphne, what is your first thing to talk about?
You know what? I'm taking us out of the actual movie and just talking a little bit about the fact that this is like a lesson in consumerism, and control and subliminal messaging, and how these aliens, even though they're from another planet, they're really just there controlling everything very much like a government would.
The real aliens are the capitalism we found along the way.
Exactly. So the whole consumer culture is shown in this form of control, advertising, subtly pushing people to buy, obey the laws, don't question authority, all of the signs, watch TV and keep buying shit. It's crazy. And it kind of showcases this, honestly, I think it's Ronald Reagan era economics.
No, it's pure Reaganomics. Absolutely.
Yeah. Where economic growth benefits everybody, except that it's creating this really big gap between the wealthy and the working class. And it's supposed to be this trickle-down effect that doesn't really trickle down. It just becomes a trick where the wealthy just get more and more and more. And you see kind of the desperation in the people that are living in that campsite, where they have shantytown. They have nowhere to go. They have jobs, but, it's... to me, it looked like a lot of them didn't have jobs. They were just stuck. This is all that they had. But they made this little community where they all would gather together and forge out an existence, and they invite Nada into it.
Honestly, seems very like a nice knit like community that took care of each other. I was like,
Yeah.
honestly, it's not bad at all. Like,
but again, when you see the destruction of it, and you see, because it doesn't fit the mold of what the overlords or the people in power want, they don't want that because it's unsightly, it's not pretty, it doesn't scream,
Urban blight.
Yeah, it doesn't scream success. They just completely destroy it, and they don't even care if someone is inside one of the tents or the little makeshift buildings. They just destroy it all. They flatten it.
Which is kind of a like valid, criticism, I guess, of even today, like, well, way that those things work. Yeah. But I think, because it's not like they just decided, oh, we're tired of this like homeless encampment, let's take it down. But it was, because you get a lot of these police and the people there are like these aliens that have taken over. And so really it was them figuring out where this broadcast was coming from and trying to take out Beard Guy. And there's like, well, if we just show up and raid this church, that's bad optics. But if we cover that up with, oh, we came out here to clear up this unsightly, homeless camp. So like, they're just, they just end up becoming in the way. So it's just like, okay, we'll take them out. And then that's the cover for what we were actually doing as a church, because people will get behind that and be like, oh, no, that actually makes sense why they would do that. We won't stay mad at them for that.
Yeah.
Well, it's really about putting society in this passive, distracted, unaware state where they're getting exploited and they don't even realize that they're getting exploited. There's so much greed. There's so much self-interest. People are just choosing whatever, money, whatever makes them comfortable in the moment, instead of like confronting the injustice that's going on and the peril that their fellow citizens are in. It's about a me mentality, which we learn when we see the Drifter later, when he's all dolled up in his tuxedo at the special event. He signed up to be part of it because he wanted money. He wanted a better life. And you can't begrudge people for wanting a better life. There has to be a better way. These aliens were manipulating people through, brain, like through a signal that was going through the TV and through subliminal messaging that they couldn't even see. It was under everything else. The messaging was always there. People just didn't see it. And yeah, it just created this whole world where greed is normal and rewarded. And people who did find out it was aliens were still really into just, we're not going to beat them, so we'll just be part of it because it's better for us. Instead of looking at, it might be better for you, but what about civilization as we know it? What about human beings?
Yeah, and what I was thinking that mentality goes towards is what we see a lot today is, I'm not affected personally, so why do I care?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not in it and you don't see it happening, it's easier to pretend it's not happening, but it is happening. And the thing is, when things like this happen, and I'm not talking about alien invasions, I'm talking about situations where
She's
people
talking
get
about
into
the lizard people.
No.
The real threat.
I'm talking about when sometimes governments will, Reagan did it in the 80s. Sometimes the government, this is just what happens, and it doesn't affect you until it does, and it might take time. That's what trickles down to you. The effect, because it may not hurt you today, but it's going to hurt you in 6 months or 6 years. It's going to happen. With things that have happened in the country, it may not happen to you, and it may not happen to someone you know, but at some point it is going to happen to someone you know, and it is going to affect you. And you can't be blind to that. And I think People were trying to focus on self-preservation, which you can't blame them for that. But in the same context, you need to be cognizant of the long-term effects of the decisions that you make. It might bring you some temporary happiness, but it may not bring you long-term happiness. So is that short-term comfort worth it? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and then this begs the question is like, whenever in this particular universe of the movie, is every like major police action that you see part of those things of busting up a resistance cell like this was?
Right.
Yeah, and one thing that came to mind is I remember, and I'm old enough to remember this actually hearing about this actually happening when Beard Guy cuts in on the broadcast. Is that there was an incident in Chicago in 1987 of the Max Headroom signal hijacking?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And it was like, when I was rewatching this, a few days ago, it's like that jumped right into my head, and I had to write that point down.
Yeah, I didn't even make that connection, but you're absolutely right. It was very Max Headroom.
Yeah, because it happened a year ago, a year before this movie came out. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jerry, I think we're back to you on the next point. So if you got,
let's
run right into it.
Yeah, let's call that my next point.
It's Max Headroom.
Oh God!
All right.
No, but
that sounds great.
Oh boy.
So the one question I had to ask was when Nada was surveilling the church. Suddenly, when the cop invasion happened, how did he not notice or hear the helicopter?
Yeah. Well, because so the movie can happen.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing, because I bought this movie on, Amazon's years ago.
Amazon.
Laserdisc, yes. I'd seen in the notes is that Kurt Russell was considered for the role, but since John Carpenter had already worked with them on The Thing, Escape from New York, and Big Trouble in Little China, did they want to do a fourth one with him? And so that's why he's like...
They're like different beefy white guy with a mullet.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Though... Even though Big Trouble in Little China has become like this huge cult classic movie, it was not successful, and John Carpenter had a hard time coming back from that. Mm-hmm. And all I was thinking is, why did you deviate from your focus on horror? Because that seems to be your realm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should have stuck closer to that. But I also can understand wanting to branch out from it and try something else.
That was the last point I had for this round. So.
Okay, Jeff.
Well, a lot of what I was going to say, I think Daphne covered, was just the whole Reaganomics of it all. What I found interesting is, I don't know if you guys were aware of this, the whole breakup of the Shantytown thing, that was actually just LAPD doing their thing. That wasn't even in the script. They just
it wasn't in the movie. They just
LAPD was just like, we need to destroy this place. Yeah. So.
Oh.
People not starving. Wow, we got to put a stop to that.
Yeah.
I mean, that little community. I mean, Pake, you said it. It was kind of heartwarming how they all came together and created this little community world for themselves.
And they had like people who like could do certain jobs, like we're like, well, let's take care of that, let's fix this. They had like a food line going, there's kids running around playing, like it was like they'd set up a nice little spot here.
They did. And then over at the church they had their rebellion work.
That was kind of part of, or one of the points I was going to make, but it'll kind of shift it a little bit. It talk about honestly some of my issues, I think, with, like, for me, the pacing was really weird. Mm-hmm. And just even the reaction of, Nada to coming across this thing was like, well, I'm going to make jokes, and then I'm going to go on a killing rampage without any kind of like, oh my God, what is going on here? This is insane. Yeah. Just like, you're ugly, and now I'm going to shoot everybody. It was very like, oh, okay, we just suddenly, right turn, Clyde, and just all of a sudden, now we're.
Yeah, a lot of Piper's one-liners throughout the movie were like, just makes you shake your head sometimes. Like,
I really loves his one-liners, even if they don't quite make sense or fit. He.
What was the one he had? I'm not Daddy's little boy anymore, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, good,
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he loves those one-liners, even if they're not applicable. I like the one where they get to the hotel and then he just looks like they've just like gotten this fight. They're like bloody and beaten up, and he goes, "Ain't love grand?" And it's like, sure,
so,
man.
You guys, okay. So this is a domestic violence thing. Got it. Okay.
Okay, man. Sure.
Yeah, well, don't tell. Got it.
I loved when he was wearing sunglasses, the different things that he would say to the people that he saw. Like, no, you look like your head fell in the cheese dip back in 1957.
Yes.
Like, and no one understands why.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, you're okay. This one, real fucking ugly. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah, well, my other one was when he and Nada and Frank are talking. It's like, Frank asks, "Well, where do you think they're from?" And Nada says, "Well, they ain't from Cleveland."
Or what about this one? Brother, life's a bitch, and she's back in heat.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
That's such a weird line.
It's weird.
So you're going to fuck life?
Yeah.
And then there was a girl that had come out of I think a hair salon, and she was just like primping her hair. Mm-hmm. And he's like, that's like pouring perfume on a pig.
Yes.
I'm like,
oh my God.
Oh, Carpenter was on fire.
And then they get mad at him for like saying all these like offensive things, and they're like, oh, he can see us. And then he realizes that they're all like starting to like target after talking into their watches. Mm-hmm. And then he just walks out and he goes, I don't like this at all. And then it was just, which I thought is funny. He's just like, I don't like this one bit. I'm uncomfortable. Yeah.
And yeah.
This was like, I'm very uncomfortable with all the attention that I fully brought on myself. Oh, no.
Well, and there was some effect, too, from them wearing the glasses, because it was
giving them, like, real bad headaches and that kind of thing.
And he said, woo, it's like a drug. Wearing these glasses gets you high, but you come down hard. Like, It was a lot to deal with.
It's a good thing they worked that bug out, that glitch out with the contact lenses later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, virtually no issue, but we didn't really know because they never took them out. So it wasn't like we got to see
This is my life now.
Yes.
Yeah, if you ever take the contact lenses out, it's not a headache, you immediately die. So you're stuck with them forever now.
That's kind of a downside to everything, yeah. Which is good. You should definitely wear your contacts for an extended period of time. Mm-hmm. Just weeks
especially while you sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were just a lot of one-liners, especially Nada had so many.
Yeah. So, for me, it was, it was a lot of, the one-liners were one thing, but it was even like the street fight was just like, oh, okay, we're doing this now for, 5-10 minutes. It was just like, it was like a completely different chapter, okay, now we're doing this, and now it was just, for me, it felt like there was a lot of build-up to something happening, and then it just kind of went nuts. Just kind of went every which way. So it was a little bit, for me, I just found it disjointed. Like it needed some editing or longer runtime, shorter runtime. I'm not exactly sure, but
something. Yeah. Let's see. I think for my next, I'll just talk about kind of like the ending segment of the movie, which I call accidental infiltration. So that's really what it is they see these watches that the aliens can teleport with, which is like, oh, that's not fair. They can teleport now. Also, a random thing about the aliens is because there's like a lot of cops, they would show up in groups of cops, and I could not help myself, but every time they do that little march jogging thing, as they'd go by, I'd just go, hop, 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 hop. Every time. But, yeah, so then they have one of these watches at the Resistance, or I guess they have multiple, maybe, but Frank ends up with one of them. And it malfunctions, so instead of just teleporting him, it just opens a portal in the ground. It's like, you have 10 seconds. Go in. Where's that voice coming from? Who knows? Go in the hole.
It felt like a real, like, security flaw in this whole thing, where it's like, oh, by the way, if you drop the watch on the ground accidentally, it just, like, shouts out all the, backstory, and then opens a portal.
Here's a portal to our home base where everything is here with it.
And don't worry, nobody will question you if you show up here, because obviously this has never happened before that somebody has stumbled in here.
Yes,
their security was very lax.
Very lax.
Very. Yeah.
Well, and they had the drifter who would just welcome them in and show them around. I was hoping, it's so good to see you. Let me show you around. I'm like... Here's the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, through that door right there is the item that will destroy everything. So just whatever you do, just don't go in through that door. Here's the key, by the way. I'm holding it.
Got it? Yeah. So I'm going to look over that way and trust that you're not going in that door. Man.
Well, maybe his mindset was that since they're there, they, fell in with them. So.
Mm-hmm. They did fall in. Just not with them.
Yeah.
I get
it. They just kind of show up and like the aliens are there celebrating the victory alongside the human elite who sided with them for power and money. I didn't realize this was a documentary.
It is.
As I'm watching that. Yeah, and then this drifter who shows up and they're like, oh, it's you again. And I was like, is it weird that I have no idea who the fuck this guy is?
I had no clue who he was. My first thought was...
The drifter?
Yeah. I was like, was that the superintendent at the job site at the beginning?
No.
Who is this guy?
He was in the encampment.
Was he the guy that was watching the TV when it kept cutting in and out?
Yeah.
That's what I was like, maybe it's that guy, but I was like, I can't really tell because he looks fully different.
I honestly had no clue. And the problem is, like, the names aren't helpful because they're like, if you look in the credits, the names are like Ghoul, Street Preacher, Drifter. It's like...
Guy in hat.
Third woman from the left.
The street preacher, I mean, he was the one... I mean, he was street preaching.
Yes, I know.
I mean, you had to know.
Oh, speaking of credits, Naked Lady.
Yeah.
That was her credit in the movie, Naked Lady.
Wonderful. I played Naked Lady.
Well, I mean, there's the bearded man who was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Drifter. Family Man.
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
Yeah, I don't know. Rich lady. I don't know. Well-dressed customer. Ooh. I don't know.
Pisces.
Yeah. There's like 3 names in the entire movie. And everything else is just kind of a vague description of who this person is.
Nearby citizen with a bad attitude.
Guy with a hangnail.
There's actually 4. There was Nada, Frank, Holly, and Gilbert.
Well, Nada's not his name.
Nada's not
it's
even
just
really
what he was credited as. Nobody ever called him that. But you know what I mean? That wasn't like a name that was used.
Yeah. Which was interesting that when he walked by the TV screens and they had a clearly older picture of him. Mm-hmm. So, like, somebody knew his identity. We, the viewers, didn't, but somebody did. They were able to gain access to that picture and put it out there. Somebody knew. But yeah, and you mentioned, they show up and immediately get a full tour of operations, including the signal source that the Resistance was looking for the whole time. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, well, guess it's time to just do some blasting again, as I do. And then, of course, Holly, which we haven't talked about her much at all, but, I was confused at first, and then they did, the double cross did actually kind of surprise me. I was like, okay, that was done well. Mm-hmm. Because at first I'm like, so they left Holly back in the alley,
Mhm.
and then they teleported to this place, and then they expect her to just be here working or something. Like they show up as like, "Where's Holly? She's probably here." It's like, well, if you just immediately teleported,
They were in the TV studio that she works in.
but how far away was that from where they had
Who knows?
teleported
I
from?
don't know.
Where they know she was there just then. So it's like, she must have teleported back here too. Let's go find her.
Which also had an interesting scene of where, Frank and Nada come through this area with guns and everybody's just like frozen, like, oh my god, what do we do kind of thing. And, they get their directions. I know, I just froze completely, didn't I?
That could have been more perfectly
Oh
timed.
my god,
At the perfect time. You're like, just frozen, like, and then it just happened. It was like, wow, he timed that. That was incredible.
that is so serendipitous. I love it.
Oh my god. That is an outtake video film right there. That was perfect.
Yeah. They come in and everybody's just like doesn't know what to do or anything like that, and they get directions and they leave, and then the cops come in and everybody starts screaming at the top of their lungs. It's like, I mean, okay,
Not the
fair,
guys carrying
but
weapons.
Okay, I get it.
not the guys just like who wandered in with shotguns looking all beat up. Those guys are fine. It's when the cops arrive. That,
Oh. But yeah, and then I was like, this is ridiculous. Of course Holly wouldn't be there, but then she was, because she was working with the aliens the whole time. Gasp. Betrayal.
I mean, she probably led them to where they were. Like, she was an agent, like a double agent, really.
Which is honestly pretty brave, because she was in there as they were like, shooting the whole place up.
Everyone.
Just like spraying bullets, and she's just in there like, well, we might accidentally hit you, but just go in there.
These cops were stormtroopers, because they had a hard time hitting people. So
They really did.
It took them a few times each with each person.
I like the dude, though, the revolutionary who picked up the grenade and then just posed there for a while.
Look what I have!
Oh, man.
Yeah, but they do, at least Nada gets up to the roof, does destroy the signal before they take him out with a tiny little pistol. He takes down this whole machine.
That pistol was so small.
Where it's like, that's how you take it. But again, I understand, because he never fails with his finisher. Gun always works.
Yeah.
So, of course.
And then he, looks at the helicopter and picks number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not 11, number 1.
No.
It was just one.
Just one.
And then we kind of end the movie there with the signal destroyed, everybody we know and love in the movie dead. And then the world sees the aliens for who they really are.
I love that part.
Yeah, and
It
that
was
part,
great.
and then that part probably where they're like, ew, oh my god, probably lasts a whole 4 days. And then they're like, oh wait, the money and power thing. You know what? It's fine.
Yeah.
And then it all goes back to normal, the same way it was.
You know what? I think, though, it was kind of like a metaphor in some way of people who may appear to be beautiful on the outside but are ugly on the inside, and the inside's showing. Like, how terrible they really are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to me, when I first watched it in '89, I thought it's like, well, who peeled? They were just like peeled people.
Peeled
The
people.
peeled people.
The peeled people.
Not pod people. Not pod people. Peeled people.
Mhm.
Well, it was like the skin had been peeled off.
Yes.
That's really what it was
Yes.
like.
So, Jerry, you would say that they were appealing.
Yes.
Okay, good.
You beat me to the joke. No.
So, we've covered so much of the story. I want to talk a little bit about the casting, because Carpenter didn't just pull in like big names or whatever. I know we were just talking about Kurt Russell, but he didn't want to. Like, this was on purpose. He wanted it to not feel as polished as some of the other movies where you have big names coming in to kind of create this excitement. I think he wanted something to be a little more mysterious and have it be a little more raw, I guess, or campy, because it definitely was. If you're a big name, along with that comes all the stereotypes of all the characters that you played in the past. And it makes it more difficult for you to play someone maybe that is just an ordinary person. And so he wanted more of that in this movie. And so...
By casting world-famous wrestler.
Well, I mean, but had Roddy Piper made a huge splash as an actor at that point? No.
Not as an actor.
Not as an actor, but the late 80s was very peak Roddy Piper at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's the only star power they really... Well...
Keith David.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like...
It's not Kurt Russell, who'd been a star since he was a kid. Like...
Right. But, you know, there's a quote, at least on the Wikipedia article for this movie, that, you know, it says, you know, Carpenter was looking for an everyman who looked like he had lived a hard life. And it's like, I don't look at Roddy Piper and go, that looks just like me. You know?
No. No, but you wouldn't have looked at Kurt Russell that way either, right?
No, I wouldn't have. But my point is that, you know, if you want an everyman, it's like, you don't really want an everyman. You just want somebody that's not immediately recognized.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I feel like that worked. And I think Keith David, in his role, also seemed like a normal person. Like, he didn't seem like, okay, I'm a big name actor playing this role, and it's one of so many roles I've had. And I feel like he brought some authenticity to it. And so I really liked the casting. I felt like it worked out really well. Having someone in particular who could do their own stunts and make it believable, because he's used to taking hits in the ring and throwing punches in the ring, I think made it more fun. So yeah, that's my point.
That's the whole point.
And now we're back to Jerry.
Last thing I had was the way they had to do some of the sets to change for when the glasses were on and off. Namely, the store where he called the cheese dip lady.
I love that so much.
Because, you know, they had the store, you know, and I read that this was like the most expensive part of it because they had to dress the store twice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once in the regular world, and then the second one with all the labels done in
because like every single thing was labeled in there. It's a grocery store. Yeah. There's thousands of objects, and every single box was labeled. Mm-hmm. Pretty crazy.
And it reminded me of that generic stuff in the 80s where you just had black and white, just black letters on a white field like beer, rice.
Yes.
And such high quality stuff too.
I mean, even the money at one point was all written.
Yeah, this is your
written
God.
on.
This is your God.
All well, true, right? I mean, that's kind of how people were looking at it. Money makes the world go round.
Mm-hmm.
Not gravity. Money.
Nope.
You know, I would say, please don't remake this film because it's as good as it is. Yeah, this is one.
So I have bad news for you. It's in production right now.
Really?
No, it isn't.
No, it is not.
Is it really?
According to IMDb, it is.
Oh no!
Oh, no. It's nothing. It's nothing sacred. We have to have it.
Well, because money.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
money.
Recognizable IP. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wonder. There's a lot of stuff sometimes that gets like.
Yes, I was saying according to IMDb because sometimes it still doesn't happen, but
right, yeah. There's thousands of movies that never happen.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes it does happen and it's Greenland too. Not good.
Or sometimes things are in production hell for 20 plus years, and then they try and cram all 7 books of the Dark Tower into a 90-minute YA movie.
Not a good idea.
No. My God, that Dark Tower. Seriously, I remember following the production of that. Just as the rights changed from person to person over like 20 years. And that was the version that finally got greenlit?
Flanagan will fix it. Don't worry.
Yeah. In Flanagan we trust.
Yes, always.
Well, isn't he doing Carrie first?
Yeah,
He is.
that's coming out soon.
Which has never been done before. There hasn't been like 5 remakes of Carrie already.
I don't think we've seen one done like this because Flanagan always brings something that makes his vision unique. And honestly, Samantha Sloyan, is it Samantha Sloyan?
Mm-hmm.
She was born to play Carrie White's mother.
Oh, I mean, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to get his like remakes of fun stuff out of the way first. He's got the Carrie one, he's got his Exorcist coming out, and then he'll get to his Dark Tower stuff after that, hopefully.
This has been Flanagan Talk.
Yes. We need a Flanagan section in every episode, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be okay.
It's not a bad idea.
So it's the Flanagan section from Buffalo on Run for Your Lives.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, we will bring the two of you back on for the Flanagan section every episode. Just for that part.
Perfect.
Honestly, you could release a 15-minute Flanagan episode every week.
Yes.
Right? I mean, there's something to talk about every time.
Yes. Where were we? Whose turn was it? I don't remember.
It
Mine.
is Jeff's turn.
And I don't know how much I have left. Like, I barely had points to begin with, and we've kind of talked about every aspect of the movie that I have anything to say about. I've been trying to like rack my brain for something else to talk about. I think that for me, just, and I'm using this to kind of sum up a little bit, for me, the two biggest things of the movie were the 50s homage and the Reaganomics of it all, you know? So yeah, I don't know if I have anything really more. I will say that I liked the movie. I didn't think it was that great. Like, I mean, it was silly, and I mean, I know that's what it was supposed to be, but yeah, I thought it was an okay movie. Generally, that's about all.
Just
I got,
okay.
honestly. Just okay.
I've still got so many just like random notes, but like the last kind of point, well, we've talked about a lot of things like in circles anyway, but the last like main point to talk about, but then I've got way more notes. But the Resistance themselves, it was kind of a cool idea that I feel like they could have fleshed out more. But because like it's such a big deal at the very beginning of the movie, where it's very this mysterious, you're getting the warnings from the blind street preacher and then the bearded guy on the TV. That's just very mysterious. And they're giving this same speech of, there's something insidious living among us that's definitely like wormed its way in and we've got to watch out. And then when Nada realizes the broadcast is coming from the church across the street, and then this guy, Gilbert, who I guess was kind of like the leader of the encampment, or at least he was like a big part of it, is involved, and he's helping all, with that. And he gets over there and there's the glasses and all the stuff. And I think it's kind of funny is then after, it all gets broken up and then we have the street fight between Nada and Frank. And then they were at the hotel and they're like, we've got to figure out if there's other people in the Glasses gang still out there, if there's people still there, because we've got to team up and we've got to figure out what to do. It's like, we got to find Gilbert and preacher guy and beard guy and the other guy and hangnail guy. And so I was like, how are we going to find them? They've spread to the wind. And then literally next scene, I was like, oh, it was super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Gilbert just finds them instead. Quite quickly, in fact. He's just like, oh, by the way, there's a meeting. Come. And you're like, okay, moving on. Next scene.
The Resistance Grapevine was very active because there were, I thought, quite a few people at that meeting. Although I think that Gilbert was disappointed.
There were, but actually, this is something that I forgot I wanted to talk about, was kind of the ineptness of the Resistance, where Gilbert was like, why are there not more people here? It's like, well, I mean, your main thing is having a homeless guy stand on a street corner screaming that there's something out there. Like, that's very vague. Maybe you should start, like, putting sunglasses on people.
Let's pick the most ignored person on the planet and have them be the vocal piece.
Exactly. It's like you guys have this magical object that allows you to see the world for what it is. Like, why are you not getting those sunglasses out there so that, you know, just go up to random people, hey, can you put these on for me, kind of thing. You'll eventually get people. Most people are not going to get into a 5-minute drag-out street fight.
Hey, put these glasses on. Oh, I gotta punch you in the face a bunch, okay?
And yet that street fight is like one of the most recognizable things about this movie. If you mention They Live, you go straight to that street fight. Or the glasses and the...
Now I just, hey, do you want to put these glasses on? Are you trying to say you want to punch me in the face several times?
I do like the fact that
that sounds a lot like Daddy Magic.
I do like the fact that Roddy, when he put the sunglasses on, apparently turned into a blind person. He was like, I mean, I know it's like, from his perspective, he's looking around because he's, you know, looking at all the different signs and all this kind of stuff. But just as you see him walking down the street, he's just like wandering. You know? He just looks like, you know, he's just like all over the place, just kind of.
But then, yeah, they had a big setup at this resistance meeting. Men, women, and children. It kind of was just like, I think they just took all the people that were in the homeless camp population. Yeah. You're also in this building now, in this scene.
Well, I mean, they were all probably in the resistance anyway. I mean, that's probably where they recruited most of their members was from that encampment.
And then you hear them over, like, while they're talking, they talk about safe houses. Memorize all these safe houses, and they have all these places. So it seems like a really big production. It's like they've found a way to upgrade to contact lenses, and they've got all these guns, and they've got like all this like equipment. And so you're like, oh man, this final battle between the resistance and the aliens is going to be great. Or not, or the whole thing goes up in flames, literally, so abruptly. So never mind, they're all gone now. Just up to these two. Cool.
Yeah.
And they just create a hole in the ground to jump into. It made me think of Rick and Morty.
Now that's thinking with portals.
I mean...
So yes, that was my last official point. But like I said, after we circle back around, I can just run through any leftover notes. Just kind of.
So we have talked about him a couple of times, and I kind of want to just briefly talk about the messaging with the bearded man. He said a lot of things that I felt like would be true to, you know, here on TV right now. I mean, messages of this is what's going on, and people don't always want to hear that. Things like they're dismantling the sleeping middle class. More and more people are becoming poor. We are their cattle. We are being bred for slavery. On the wall, even, in the church, they live, we sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's almost making, everyone is just being numbed into sleepiness or into submission.
And we need to be woke. Woke culture needs to just absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
but like
people need to wake up. I mean,
for like real, yeah.
You do need to wake up.
Yeah, and when you're talking about like sleeping, it's like you see all these people just like mesmerized by their TV, just staring at it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which, if you were to remake it now, would just be everybody walking while staring at their phones.
Yes.
I say honestly, I'm predicting if this possibly in production remake version does happen, that scene will be whoever is playing this Nada or lead character putting on the glasses and seeing all the people on their cell phones on the sidewalk, just staring at a white screen that says obey on it or something, like on their phone. Yep. And like it's going to be the phone screen.
Stay distracted, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Their messaging that was on the TV with the bearded man, a lot of times it was saying the same things in different ways. Because he also said, The poor and the underclass are growing. Racial justice and human rights are non-existent. They have created a repressive society, and we are their unwitting accomplices. And it just continued throughout, where he was just constantly saying things, you know, look at the environment we live in. Carbon dioxide, fluorocarbons, and methane have increased since 1958. Earth is being acclimatized. They are turning our atmosphere into their atmosphere. But if you hear that coming through on a TV over and over, all of these things, you're just like, well, this guy's got to be crazy because this doesn't make sense. Like, this isn't really happening. And then there was another guy credited as Scruffy Blonde Man who said, our projections show that by the year 2025, not only America, but the entire planet will be under the protection and dominion of this power alliance. The gains have been substantial both for ourselves and for you, the human power elite. It's the guy that was speaking, I think, at the big dinner. You know, I feel like we could hear that now. I mean, it's 2026.
Yeah, how are y'all feeling a year into that now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that they were pessimistic on how long it would take. It was much quicker than 2025.
Yeah. I mean, it was like dangling a carrot out in front of them. Just a little money would get them to sign over everything, like to be part of something. And in some cases, it may have been self-preservation, but I think in a lot of cases it was greed. People just, you know, wanted more. And I mean, we all want more. We'd all like to have more money and more stuff, but if it comes at the expense of humanity, where do you draw the line? Yeah. So the messaging just, some of it made sense and some of it I was like, you're really saying that, and it really seems like it may not come across the way that you want it to because it's just inferring crazy things that people may find hard to believe. Like, we could be pets, we could be food, but all we really are is livestock. I mean, you think about that, it's like lambs to the slaughter? Mm-hmm. Is that what we are? And then you give people money to take care of them and they can have things and a better life, but in the end, they're going to end up in the same place as everyone else. Like, it's just a temporary moratorium on your end result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that thing where people say, well, first they came for this person, then they came for this person, then they came for this person, and then they came for me, and there was no one left to stand up. It's kind of the same thing. We're reading very deep into this movie, which is very campy and kind of hilarious at times, but the message campy, underneath it,
yeah, and I mean that was real. Honestly a lot of your 50s horror movies were about the Cold War and about, you know, fear of, you know, nuclear weapons and that kind of thing. So there's always been a history of taking very deep and scary subjects and making campy horror movies about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even today is very modern movies that have come out in the last year or two have really found that formula again in a really cool way.
Yeah. I mean, The Greater Signal made me think of Pontypool and how it made people crazy, but it affects people like the headaches and stuff. It's just all part of this overconsumption, I think, of things just being in your face. That was really my point. I honestly, formaldehyde face, that was probably my I mean, even more than all of the other lines, formaldehyde face.
It's a good one.
Was a good one. Jerry, do you have any notes?
I went through all my notes.
Okay. And Jeff, do you have any notes?
I think I'm pretty clear. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'll let Pake go.
Tear through what I've got left.
Yep.
Okay.
So let's see what to start with. I think more kind of just in general stuff with Nada. I mean, first, we talked about, Roddy Piper, Hot Rod. R.I.P. the greatest wrestling heels of all time. So it's good to I can see him as Nada rolling into L.A., nothing but the pack on his back, looking for work. He meets and works with a bald Keith David named Frank, who takes him to this homeless encampment, which I really thought, we said there's like manual labor, wandering, wrestling. He plays harmonica. He's a real Renaissance man. After the church is ransacked and cleared, he goes in there, but he does remember the one hiding place that he found, and he finds the one box of sunglasses that's there, and it was like, it was all a Ray-Ban bootlegging racket. Clearly, that's what was going on here.
It's all big Ray-Ban.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then he takes them, and he's like, well, I've got to put them somewhere. I was like, oh, yes, trash can in an alley. The perfect hiding spot for something. Definitely nobody's going to come and take that, especially not on a regularly scheduled day and time, for sure. And so I made that note when it happened. And so later I go, oh, no, the box of glasses was emptied out of the trash. Who could have ever seen that coming besides me earlier in the movie?
You just have to make sure that you get there exactly 1 minute after they pick it up.
Yeah,
so
then you're good.
Yeah, and apparently that garbage truck had picked up a box of sunglasses and 500 pounds of confetti.
Yeah. It was a big party right down the street.
That was it. That was the cleanest garbage truck in the history of LA.
Yeah, and then as it drives away, he had tipped it up to get in.
Yeah.
And it tips up and then drives away with it
drives
tipped up.
with the thing tipped up.
I didn't understand why they did that. Like that seemed
so that he would be emptied out on the street.
Yes, the movie could happen.
So the movie can happen.
Okay. Which then, I'll cut over to Holly as we meet Holly, which was like, that's one way to get into a woman's home. Hold her at gunpoint and have her drive you there. It's a great method. Dating tips with Run for Your Lives. I will say, I think that method still ranks higher than open your mouth, I want to throw up in it. Just at least by a little bit. Yeah, so that's how we meet Holly and her neighbors, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Lieutenant Dangle.
I wondered, and I didn't get to look it up, but I thought they have to be wrestlers.
I don't know who those were. That's just
You don't? My gosh, I thought that they might be wrestlers, honestly.
I'm just making jokes of who they looked like. It wasn't Lieutenant Dangle, because definitely that's too early for him. Thomas Lennon was not in doing stuff back at...
But they look like wrestlers. Like they had the vibe. I don't know who they were either. I thought, you know what? I thought Roddy Piper just said, "Hey, you want to come be in a movie with me?"
Might have.
I don't know. I couldn't. How would you know who they were cast in there? Because if you try to look for them in the credits, how do you know who they are?
I believe they were credited as guy wearing shirt.
And guy nearby, guy wearing shirt.
Exactly.
They're not. There's no one there. Like, I'm looking it up on IMDb right now.
The credits were extremely limited.
Yeah.
And extremely vague.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we get Holly playing the, well, now I have a crazy person in my house. How do I keep calm game? Which, yeah, and then as I says, like, how else do you react to, like, I won't hurt you. I just need to get away from the place that I killed several cops and held holding you hostage in your home. But when she goes, I'm thirsty. And then I was like, well, if you're thirsty, champagne is not the way to go. That's not a good choice.
I thought the same thing. I was like, why are you going for champagne then?
But it was a good choice for staying calm while being held hostage in your home and preparing the nerve and opportunity to yeet some jacked dude out of your window. So I guess...
Yeah, because the whole... she must have weighed all of what his leg does, and she could just eat him. So.
Yeah. But then you're seeing him, like, as he finally crawls down, and then he's like... It pans to the glasses sitting on the floor. It's like, I hate that moment when I fall 2 stories into a hill and then roll the rest of the way down, miraculously avoiding any serious injury, only to realize that I left my magic glasses in a TV executive's house. It's a real bummer every time that happens to me. And then the cops are on your way, so, what are you going to do? It's first world problems, am I right? And yeah, he goes back and the box of glasses are emptied into a garbage truck, as obviously they would be. And yeah, we talked about the one-liners and stuff. Talked about Holly. Frank has a line early in the movie. I like the golden rule. Whoever holds the gold makes the rules. Which is always a good one.
Down too.
And I like that saying. Now, that did not originate from this movie. I've heard that one several times. There was a line in The Fall of the House of Usher. Also, it was in Aladdin.
That's the one I was going to say was Aladdin. Yeah.
But it seems the likely origin, which is also in House of Usher, what they attribute it to. I think it was Mark Hamill's character. Might have been. It's been a little while. But either way, it is attributed to that. It also could have been the other guy. But it's most likely originated in an issue of Wizard of Id from 1964.
Huh.
Oh.
Interesting.
That's a cartoon.
Yeah, it's a
comic strip.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be an issue. It would be just like in the newspaper.
A strip, yeah. But like episode? I don't know. What would you refer to as like one single week of a comic strip? Just a strip.
A strip, yeah.
But yeah, Wizard of Id, but a 64 edition might be the likely origin for that one.
Kind of tracks for Wizard of Id. Yeah, it seems like something that would be there. Yeah.
Again, go back to the street fight leading up to it. I do have to say, though, whenever Frank tosses the money and it goes right into the box of glasses, I was like, damn, what a shot. And then I was like, if that money into cardboard box shot was like, if that was on TikTok today, then we would have had minutes of a couple of preteens just screaming and jumping around going, yo, oh my God, no way, let's go. Yeah. Trick shots. Then Frank called, you crazy mother. And I was like, man, that should be insulting. But we already know he refers to himself as mama. So that's probably actually endearing to him. Yeah, we talked about clearing the camp out. As they're like, the cops are beating, I was like, I figure there's plenty of non-humans in this movie. But I didn't realize that Beard Guy was also a balloon person. But if you listen to the sounds that the Billy Club makes when they hit him, that's the only explanation. It's like, yeah. He's part balloon. Maybe the blind preacher as well. Leave the balloons alone. They're trying to warn people of the dangers to come. He tries on the sunglasses. So these are terrible sunglasses. They don't retain any color at all, and there's way too much exposure. No, not to the sun, but to the harsh realities of a capitalist society. But the black and white underlying world visual was cool. You can see the people who are the aliens that have infiltrated. I guess the other clue, if you don't have the glasses, is they're all wearing fancy watches that they use like walkie-talkies. That could also be a good giveaway.
Oh, yeah. He's in the alleyway. Oh, my God.
See, and these would all be the Rolex watches that all the rich people wear.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then with that, I think that's all the notes I have. That's now
right.
I'm good.
I have just a couple of things. First, John Carpenter scored this movie, and he was kind of inspired by the fact his dad was a music teacher. This isn't the only movie that he scored. He's actually scored a bunch more. I
didn't realize how many movies he had scored.
He scored quite a few. Not Halloween, but many of his other ones he has scored. He is, he's incredibly influential and inspired so many of the directors and composers that we all love today. He was an inspiration to them. I don't know what the score was at the beginning, but I feel like it was Nada's theme, and it went throughout the whole movie, and it sounded to me like Anxious Cowboy, like
Wild West,
contemplative. Yeah, it was like, yeah. This is only the second movie of his that we've covered. I can't believe it, because we're in the 250s now, and we've only ever covered Halloween, the original. We've not covered any of his other ones.
Really?
And there are so many that we could cover. But we've already established that there are many movies on the list.
Yes. The ever-growing
I did
list.
want to say one thing, Daphne, because when you said that, we're talking about his movies that he scored, I had to double check it. He did score Halloween.
Yeah.
No, 2 and 3 he did, but not 1.
I don't know. I showed.
Are you
that
sure?
he
Because
scored-
I always feel like that iconic theme is the John Carpenter Halloween theme.
That's what my research tells me.
Your research. Where are you looking?
Mr. Pedia, Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Okay. He did do the soundtrack, I guess. That was not in there. I swear, Jeff, you just put that in there. You just
I've been
added
doing that. I've been working on that for the last.
Well, no,
half
I'm glad
hour.
you said something, because even when she said that, she's like, well, he didn't do Halloween. I was like, I've lived my whole life going, no, that's the John Carpenter score. That theme is John Carpenter. So, what? So I'm glad you said something, because I was very much
And
like, I don't
honestly,
think
for
that's
me,
right.
I only found out. I only learned it yesterday, and that's why it was like fresh in my mind. Because when I was looking up stuff about the movie, I had no idea that he had scored so many movies, and I saw that he'd scored Halloween.
Well, that's delightful, because I can't go back in time and fix that, so I'm going to have to leave it in that you have corrected me. Thank
I'm
you
so
for that.
sorry that I
Yay.
corrected you.
I'm going to have
If you
to...
want, we can switch it around where I say, well, at least he didn't score Halloween, definitely. Right, Daphne?
No.
And then you correct me.
No. The only other thing I will say is the woman at the job center,
Oh,
when
yes.
she was talking to him, she reminded me so much of the woman in Beetlejuice who is welcoming the
Yes.
couple when they get to that center for
yeah.
deceased souls. Yeah. She had that same amount of passion. There's nothing for you today. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Nice.
Good as always.
So we got everything. Well, then, man, that's great. Thanks for coming on. It's so good to see you guys again. It's not like we see you guys on a very regular
Honestly,
regular basis.
It's been way too long. It really has.
Yeah.
But at least it's always good to have you on this podcast. That's fun.
I know. We need to do it more often. Once every
agree.
year, maybe, instead of once every 2 years.
I still have an idea for a more Buffalo type crossover for this podcast. Daphne might not survive it, but
You want to tease that now, or
I think if anybody listens to Buffalo, I think I mentioned it on that. I think it's in the episode, because it's when we did the movie game, that Pitch Storm game, that episode. Because I bought a like creature feature, a horror movie like expansion pack that I didn't use then.
right?
That
Oh,
you can
that's
pitch.
right.
You could pitch
That's
creature
right.
feature movies to me, or
Yes.
we could do an
Yeah.
episode on this podcast for that.
Right. You did talk
As
about
like a
that,
little
yeah.
special episode.
You know what, Peg? That could be a lot of fun to schedule in.
Maybe for easier work for us, and by us I mean Daphne and Jeff mainly. We could even just release that on both feeds for like an episode as of both podcasts.
That could be fantastic, honestly.
Mhm.
Well, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us.
Anytime.
Yeah. Oh, and there goes the feedback phone. It's a different kind of feedback phone today, but just a special one. Anyway, I'll go answer that. All right, we do have a good little bit of feedback this week. I'm excited to get to that. So yeah, some fun ones here. I'll go ahead and kick it off. Tony, right on time this week, coming through. Says, I saw this a million years ago, back when I was in high school. Unfortunately, I don't really remember it, but I'm looking to rediscover it through your eyes.
Yay! I hope you like it, Tony. It's a fun one. Mark. Hey, Mark. One of my top 5 John Carpenter films. I loved covering it with Jamie Dimmick on Adrenaline Cinema podcast way back when. I always wanted the cheap sunglasses for myself. Keith David is amazing in it, as well as Meg Foster, Peter Jason, and of course, Buck Flower. It still holds up with the fear in the movie, and in my opinion, should never be remade. Absolutely agreed. Some things should be left alone.
Yep. And again, as I said in the main part of the episode, Bad news is it looks like somebody's trying to do it. So
No.
we'll see.
Get an original idea.
Make another Jurassic movie.
I will always take dinosaur movies. There's one coming out. It's not Jurassic.
Yeah.
There is a movie coming out with dinosaurs, and I'm very excited.
We'll be all over that once it's available.
Absolutely, we
know
will.
Anyway, Catherine says, I've recently been watching the movies covered by the Adrenaline Cinema podcast. Hey, another shout from Mark himself and then from the listener. Cool. And I watched They Live last week. So rather than watch it again, I rewatched the best scene, the fight between Nada and Frank. I have 2 requests for the next Buffalo episode. Could everyone give their best read of the quote, I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. And could I see a picture of Desmond the cat? He sounds awesome. I think if you check the Buffalo feed, at least on like Spotify or something, I think that a recent episode thumbnail or like picture has Desmond in it. If that editing got done right, I don't know for sure.
If it did or if it didn't, check again soon because that might happen.
Mm-hmm. I like that idea, and I think that I'm going to turn it into a mini game. It's going to be like make some noise, like what is the mini game they play on Make Some Noise, where it's just like, give it to me more, give me a little more, do it this way, do it that way. I think I might have to do it that. I might have to go with that.
Oh my gosh!
Take some direction. That's what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, Catherine, that's great. We'll make that happen for you.
Yeah. By the time we get around to doing it, and then that episode comes out, it's probably going to be a month or so from now. But keep listening.
That's what happens. Harrison wrote in and said, "This movie was so prescient."
And then the last one here comes from Connor. Says, can't wait for this. Haven't seen this classic in years.
Hope you like it, Connor. And let us know, once you've rewatched it, give us your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
If you'd like to do that, like any of the folks who've sent in feedback this week, which we did have a bunch, so it's good. Thank you so much. You can find us on the Podcastica Discord server. We have a channel there just for Run for Your Lives. To submit your feedback, you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Run for Your Lives Podcast, or you can email us at runforyourlivespodcast@gmail.com. If you're enjoying the show, tell your friends. We're available on all of the podcast players, including Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and more. Go to runforyourlivespodcast.com for all the links you'll ever need. And give us a review on Apple Podcasts, as that is the best way to share the love and get us out there even more. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, we do. And of course, speaking of sharing the love, now I got to give those shout outs for things going on in the Podcastica universe around us and beyond. Some great podcasts and stuff for you to check out. Of course, on the Walking Dead cast, Jason and Lucy, joined by Robin this week, continuing on the Walking Dead rewatch. Season 6, episode 13, available this week for you to go check out on that rewatch listening. So go check that out. Also, the Handmaid's Tale podcast, they covered all of Testaments season 1, so you can go and listen to that entire season, episodes and feedback episodes and things like that on the Handmaid's Tale podcast feed. Plus, Daphne, you, Jason, and Wendy got to do something special that is now up there on that feed, and I'll let you plug that, because that's cool.
Oh, yeah. So we were able to have a nice chat with the showrunner for Handmaid's Tale and Testaments, Bruce Miller. He's always such a joy to talk to because he's so passionate about the story and the characters and weaving this tale and making it so impactful. And it was just fantastic to get to talk to him. And we really enjoyed this season of the Testaments and are looking forward to what season 2 brings to us.
Yeah, so definitely go to the Handmaid's Tale podcast to listen to their interview with Bruce Miller. Good time. Also over on Wax Episodic, the Severance coverage continues on. Season 2, episode 7 this week. Jason and Karen running those down, so definitely check that out if you are a fan of Severance or if you need a good excuse to finally get around to it and check it out. Their coverage is there, and you've got plenty of time to go back and listen to their previous coverage and the new episodes they still got coming up before a new season. So yeah, go check that out. Then the Star Wars TV cast has some stuff going on because, of course, The Mandalorian and Grogu is in theaters. and I did go see it, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. But if you want to hear some thoughts, Rich, Chris, and Jason are over there on the Star Wars TV cast covering that movie, so you can go get some coverage and chat about that over there. Go check that out. Of course, our good friends Penny, Becky, and Kara over on Still Slaying, covering Angel Season 2, Episode 2 this week. Of course, that is the Buffyverse podcast that we love giving some shout-outs and stuff to. And, of course, Penny will be on soon. No? Yes.
Yes, she will.
I'm timing. I was like, wait, what time? Where are we? What has come out yet? Yes.
It has not come out yet, but it's coming.
Yeah, we'll have Penny. So there's a little heads up for you in a few weeks, a couple weeks, something like that. Penny from Still Slaying should be here on Run for Your Lives. So just go ahead and let you know that. She's awesome. So go get to know her a little bit from Still Slaying before she even pops up over here, if you haven't listened to that. And of course, as I say, and beyond, outside of podcasts, get some great stuff. Of course, Pirate Core Entertainment Podcast Network, our good friend Mark running that over there. Adrenaline Cinema, as he pointed out, and Catherine even pointed out, is a podcast over there. Covers all kinds of action movies and things like that. A great backlog of episodes he's done over there, including, of course, if you want some more They Live coverage, him and Jamie did that over there, as was pointed out. So go check that out. But also over on the Panels to Pixels podcast there, covering a lot of comic book adaptation kind of stuff and book adaptation. Mark is joined by Steve and Dodie to cover Good Omens Season 3, which is really just a one episode kind of feature length, film length kind of episode. But it was great. Wraps up the story really well. And you can check out their coverage of that on Panels to Pixels. TV Podcast Industries, some good friends of ours as well, also did that Good Omens episode. And they are covering Spider Noir over there as well on Amazon Prime. So check that out. Then if you want more of me and Daphne and Jeff and Jerry that you heard in this episode as well, you might have noticed the vibe was a little different but fun in this episode. A little goofier, a little sillier, a little more torturing Daphne.
Always and forever.
So if you like that vibe, then you can check out the four of us on the Buffalo podcast to get definitely that energy at an even higher rate and higher dose. We go absolutely nuts sometimes, but we have a good time with it. Playing games, making each other laugh, making Daphne question why she does the things that she does.
Always and forever. They do. They make it interesting for me. I know what I'm getting myself into, and then every week they continue to amplify it into something even bigger.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, go check out all of that. Lots of great podcasts we listened to this week. In the meantime, and then next week, you can come right back here. We'll have a new, fresh, fun Run for Your Lives episode for you. Daphne, what are we doing next week?
Well, when a group of friends travels deep into the Amazon to remake their favorite cult movie, what begins as a nostalgic adventure quickly spirals into chaos. Faced with dangerous wildlife, mounting tensions, and a massive anaconda lurking in the jungle, they discover that some legends are far more real and deadly than they ever imagined. We are covering Tom Gormican's 2025 film, Anaconda. Yes,
the 2025 new sequel, technically. Sequel. With Jack Black and Paul Rudd. Yeah, what a goofy movie, but it was a lot of fun, I think. So definitely check that out. It's on Netflix right now. You can give it a watch. Give us your thoughts and come back next week and we'll break that down for you.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that we perfectly planned it to fit in the calendar when we needed something that was not quite as intense as some of the others. Because we have tackled some films this season so far that are a bit more intricate when it comes to the discussion.
Yeah, and we have some coming up too. For
yeah.
Sure,
so this gave us that little break where we could laugh a little bit more.
Yes, indeed.
And with that, we have reached the end of another fun episode of Run for Your Lives. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pake.
And if you have to run, you better run for your lives.
Obey. Consume. Bye-bye.